So recently, or I say recently, it's been kind of recently, X Skull posted his perfect lineup, and he's probably changed it every now and then, but this is mine. Sorry, I'm a little sick right now. My allergies, I think. But this is my perfect lineup. You may be noticing that I have some interesting things in here, like Catasaurus. What are you doing here? But trust me, it is fine. Especially since my Catasaurus is not a low level by any means. So like that's fine. But yeah, this is my perfect lineup. Well, quote unquote perfect lineup. There's obviously going to be the occasional stage where, you know, you're better off using like Shigong as a meat shield instead of Jiangshi or Ramen, or sometimes even Boulder. And then there's also stages that have way too many metals in them that wind up like being a problem, or if you need something more than just Dark Phono slow, which is rare, which is why I can justify just using Catasaurus as my critter. I was tempted to do Manic Island. I was tempted to do Manic Island as my critter. However, it's too inconsistent, I think. And Catasaurus plus Little Mohawk gives a research combo. So I figured that would be worthwhile if I like added like Courier and Slime and stuff like that, which I absolutely did. And then Jiangshi, honestly, I love Jiangshi as a meat shield. Like I don't plan on actually using Little Mohawk all that much, but he'll be good. He'll be good. I should probably be stacking up Kankans. Money in this stage is just so hard to come by, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but yeah, so basically this video, I'm showing off my perfect lineup. I'm showing it off, and I'm hoping that it actually works. Because I don't have Jizo Ultra Form for perfect lineup, right? I don't have Cosmo for my perfect lineup. I don't have either of those. It's not, well, I have Jizo, but I don't have his Ultra Form because that's not out yet. So, like, you know, can't really do anything about that. But the perfect lineup heavily relies on Dark Phono. I'm gonna be so honest, it heavily relies on him. So on things he doesn't outrange, like this Camel, it's kind of tough. It's like this stage is easy, right? Like it would be easy if you just made a specialized goddamn lineup for it. But you know, not everything happens how you want it to be. But yeah, Dark Phono is definitely the main thing in the stage, or not in the stage, but in this lineup. I have nothing to slow this thing down, and I always forget not to underestimate him. I always forget not to underestimate this fucking Cyclone. Okay. Yeah, I have there's probably a lot of people that are like, perfect lineup my ass, you know, but trust, I'll get another Phono here in a minute, and we'll be good. Reds should not be a concern on this lineup, considering I have Kankan and Courier. So if I can kill the boar, that would be fucking awesome. As much as I want to send Dark Phono out against the boar, I kind of need to kill it first, and holy shit, I don't think I'm going to be killing it. Maybe I should stop sending Jiangshi, but come on, bro. Considering the fact that I have 3 meat shields, this is depressing. This is actually kind of depressing. Okay, he got the... Thank you, Kankan, for getting the slow, but I don't think it's in time. Fuck off. Okay. So... Perfect lineups, am I right? Here's the thing. The problem with perfect lineups is they're never going to work in every stage. Like, that's one of the biggest things, right? Like, surprise, surprise, the hidden message of this video is that perfect lineups never work for every stage. They're not going to unless you're uber carrying the hell out of the game. Like, they're never going to work in every stage unless you're using like double phono, maybe Matama or something. Like, you're never, and then Jizo Ultra Form, of course, and Cosmo. Like, you're never actually going to have a reliable one lineup without Ubers at this point in the game. You're never going to. And so that's kind of the point of me doing that. That's kind of the point of me doing that, so that I can show that fact off. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this. I'm gonna get rid of the part of my lineup that I can call, you know, the perfect one lineup or whatever, because what I'm going to do is remove the crit, because that's the only reason why Catasaurus is there, because you have to have a critter in your one lineup. And I could have done Mighty Lord Gal as my critter, but he's too inconsistent and he would not do well against like hordes of metals. So like, if you want a perfect lineup, you know, but there's no such thing as a perfect lineup unless there's like at least 3 Ubers in there. Not to mention those 3 Ubers I mentioned are Cosmo, Jizo, both specifically ultra formed, and then at least one of the phonos. That's like the only way I see. That's the only way I see a lineup truly being perfect, and even then, the rest of your lineups still matters heavily. Because, like, I'm not bringing Research Rock into every stage, because I would have to have space for other meat shields, and then the rest of my guys still need stuff, and like, it's that kind of thing where there is no such thing as a perfect lineup. So this video is kind of a troll. Because instead of it being me showing off my quote-unquote perfect lineup, it's actually me talking about why perfect lineups don't exist and why they should not, you know, be a thing, because they simply don't work. They don't try. Like, a huge part of this game is entirely, you know, making the effort to change your lineup. In my opinion, that's the fun part. However, I do understand that not everybody finds that fun. And so then that leaves the fact that you're just using one lineup per stage. How can that be fun? How can that be fun, and how can you want that? Right? Like, how can that be what you want out of a game? It's just simply, you know, playing it with overpowered ass Ubers. That can't be fun. And so you shouldn't encourage it either. I don't think encouraging not changing up your lineup is a good thing. I definitely don't think so. By the way, Anubis did all the damage for that Cyclone. I don't think a single other thing did any damage to it, other than maybe like Can. Like, this is what I mean, right? Like, Anubis's damage, if you can make him work, you make him work. He's good. He's damn good. And then he also lives hits from the Cyclone, fortunately. But not a lot, because this thing is way too powerful. Why is there a second one, by the way? Can I ask that question without, like, everybody thinking I'm stupid? Like, why is there a second one? I don't think there was a second one last time. Why isn't there a second one? Whatever. It doesn't matter. But this is what I mean, right? The rest of your lineup is still very important. You shouldn't just be relying on Ubers for damage. Because, like, and honestly, if anything, you should rely on them for other things than damage. Notice how Anubis has some of the highest DPS in the game, and yet nobody likes him. It's because most of his value comes from his damage. Sure, he's an anti-Aku and anti-zombie, effectively, but he also is immune to Surge. Well, those are niche values that nobody considers in generalist lineups because you don't need them generally. You only need them in specific scenarios. And so what happens is people only see things like Dark Phono, things like Balrog, right? Where they don't just deal damage, they also provide a niche value. And like with Balrog, as much hate as I give him, he is good. And he's really good, as a matter of fact. And the niche value I talk about with him is the fact that he's a boss killer. Anubis still takes time to kill bosses. Sure, he does a lot of damage, but not as quick as Balrog or as effortlessly as Balrog. Well, I say effortlessly. He mostly dies, but he's also really cheap and has a short recharge time. So Anubis doesn't have the expendability that Balrog has, I guess is how I should word that. He's not as expendable as Balrog, therefore it is harder to use him as a boss killer, and it's easier to just use him as a general backliner. And that backlining is part of it. He's not going to be rushing into blind spots. He's not going to be doing stuff like that. And so that does inevitably give Balrog the edge in a lot of scenarios. But him being a backliner also gives him better usage as a generalist because, you know, if you have range, you're probably a decent generalist. He has, I think, 415 range, which is actually good. You know, so like... By the way, is this the first time that this thing is coming to, like, an actual stage? Because I know it starts off in, like, some other weird-ass stage, but I don't know if it's been in ZL yet. It's a cool enemy, though. I like how they went back to adding enemies that don't have, like, Sage or anything like that, you know? I like that they did that. Also, I'm clearly sick. Holy shit, my throat. It's not feeling too hot. By the way, earlier, whenever I mentioned that I would do a second video talking about why my perfect lineup is my quote-unquote perfect lineup, I don't think I'm actually going to do that, because it's not actually a perfect lineup, for obvious reasons. There's no such thing as a perfect lineup. I kind of just did that for clickbait. Also, putting this fucking Oldstrich in here is a pain in the ass. I hate Oldstrich. Without certain ultra forms, he's a pain in the ass. 2%. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm still gonna use Anubis. Excuse me. I'm just gonna Uber carry against the other one with I mean, honestly, I think I'm just gonna use Tiger Claw. I think I'll use Tiger Claw for this. Money's kind of short in this stage, so I think I'm going to... I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I want to use Shigong, but that's not going to help meat shielding at all. Or the money thing at all. He'll help meat shield. I'll do that. I won't use a research combo with him, but I'll still use him. I want to keep Kankim for those guys, and so then for... Instead of Courier, what do I want? I want a really Zig or something. I don't fucking know. I mean, I haven't used Cyborg in ages. I have not used Cyborg in absolutely ages. I think it... I mean, neither of them crit, right? One of them just Toxics. Oh, wait, I can just use this guy. I always forget I have this guy. I'll use him. He's cheap, and I'll use a rich cat, because fuck this stage. I need to drink something, bro. See, I need to also not be talking right now, at least not this much. This is just how it is. I need to not be talking this much. But it's fine, I must finish the sub-chapter so that I can prove that I'm good at the game. Or something along those lines. I'm decent at the game. I'm nothing special. Whenever it comes to Battle Cats. Like, and I mean that completely, like, I'm not good at this game. If you want to see somebody be good at this game, look at, like, I don't know, Lucas doesn't even play this game hardly ever. So, like, it's more like, look at guys like Mediking Dragon, I think is his name. I think he does challenges. I believe so. Honestly, Mikra. Mikra's been going through the game really quickly. It's impressive that he made it through 50% in 1 year. Like, it's actually really impressive that he managed that. And I mean, he's probably like omega like depressed or something because like he wanted to do 100%, but he only got 50%. He only got halfway there, even though he dedicated himself for an entire year. But I don't think he should be upset by that at all. I think he should be happy. Oh wait, it's Micra. Fuck. I always forget it's pronounced Micra. God damn it. By the way, was I saying that money was short in this stage even though I was using Manic King Dragon or Little King Dragon? Did I unironically do that? I think I did. Ah, fuck. Whatever. Hey, better. Hey, better. Hey, he got the hit off. I'm actually shocked. Dude, triple toxic my ass, bro. Okay, that bitch, it did. And so now it's just this guy. Who, honestly, all you have to do is meat shield a shit ton for. And you're fine. Come on, Dagger Claw. Lionheart, whatever your fucking name is. W. You know, I've shit talked him a lot, but he is one of the best anti-zombies. Because he has range, and with his Ultra Form, he gets, does he get shorter TBA, or does he get a shorter animation? Because if he shortens his animation again after his True Form animation, then he's great. But if it doesn't shorten his animation at all, I think he's still, like, I think he still deserves wherever I put him in the tier list, because his Force Swing is his main problem. Especially with how aggressive certain zombies are that you need to kill quickly, you need to be able to put them off. And in mixed stages, Shigong won't be enough. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to... Clergyman, what is this? Malekith? Am I going to fight Malekith here? Sorry, that's an Elden Ring reference. Man, I need to play Elden Ring again. Maybe when I go into my my different games again. Wink, wink. Maybe when I start playing games other than Battle Cats, wink, wink. Maybe when I finally give up on playing Battle Cats and just start playing games that I have fun doing, wink, wink. Except Elden Ring wouldn't do well. Like, something I need to consider whenever I do that, which, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be doing Battle Cats forever. But whenever I do swap, holy shit, this thing's strong. Whenever I do finally do that, I'm gonna have to consider, like, what's strong, right? Like, and what's good in the moment? That's something I'll have to consider. Unfortunately. But it's true. I'll have to consider that. Just simply because it's important, right? Like, I have to know what's doing well in the moment, and I have to play whatever is, like, doing that, right? That was a really easy stage. Was there something else to that? Oh, you had to beat it quickly. Okay. That's one of the stages where Anubis's Barrier Breaker actually comes in really handy. Like, sure, it was a risky start off, because even though he's a cheap Uber, he's not exactly free. But, you know. But yeah, like, I also need to know what games my viewers like. Like, I want to get into more Rivals. I want to maybe eventually get into Overwatch, but my computer simply can't handle either of those. And actually later today I'm going to test to make sure that I can't record more Rivals well. Like, I'm gonna check some settings, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see how some things can work. I'm gonna see how I can make it work somehow. By some miracle, I will make it work. Or I'll try. If it works, that'll be a miracle. But I think it'll be really choppy and stuff. Like, even on the lowest of low settings, recording it is gonna be a pain. Because even when I'm just playing it casually, and have nothing else open, it'll lag. So it's one of those things where I'm concerned. Oh, Queen Bee. Not gonna lie, the stage looks like it's gonna suck. A lot of ass. How strong is that mini surge? I don't know how much damage this H-Now does. But I know one thing, I'm gonna have to kill it before I do anything else. And then Anubis is attacking in Albert Einstein. W. Where are all my meat shields going? Are they just getting warped? Oh, wait. Anubis got warped again. What is this thing's Omni? Isn't it only up to 400? Why is Anubis getting reached? Am I just getting pushed that much? I guess I need Catalyte. Is Anubis dead? No. This warp just sucks a lot of ass. Anubis isn't immune to slow, is he? Oh, no, he is. But he's not immune to damage. I mean, obviously this isn't a peak lineup for this stage, but this is interesting. You know, for some reason I thought Anubis was immune to warp. I don't know why, but I thought he was. Okay, so Courier is going to be good here. Some sort of anti-alien is going to be good here. Probably Baja Blast. But like, if you're wondering why I didn't have Baja Blast in my perfect lineup, it's because honestly, rushing is a playstyle that is never necessary. It only speeds things up. And I didn't need. I don't like using Baja. I don't like using Bahamut. What anti-aliens do I have? Good ones, hopefully. I have Professor Abyss, but I don't think Professor Abyss would do too well. Well, maybe. I could do Gravelodon. I do love the I do love the guy. I'll try him. Using anything with surges isn't going to be ideal. Should I use Thunderjet? What are you immune to in your first form? Weaken, freeze, surge. None of these are really helpful. Oh wait, you're not immune to warp. Never mind. I mean, I guess I might as well try Professor Abyss, right? I might as well. Professor Abyss needs some immunities, bruh. An anti-alien without any immunities is kind of tough in this game. So like, Professor Abyss True Form, come on now. We need it. I need yeah, I don't want you. But I'll probably just use like Bullet Train. I'll probably just use Bullet Train. Or maybe I should use Fishman to speed. Nah, I don't need Fishman. Bullet Train also makes good use out of the warp from the Hina. I probably don't need the attack up combo. I probably should use a research combo instead, but meh. It's whatever. But yeah, so I guess since I'm talking about it, what games would you like to see me play? Because obviously I'm going to, if I can, I'll do Marvel Rivals. Probably. But I don't know what else I would do. Because, okay, so what I need to do, right, is I need to have one game that I can play regularly that does well, or one type of game to play regularly that does well. And then I need to have other games that I just have fun playing. Like right now I could probably play Mega Bunk and it'd do fine or something like that, right? But like Risk of Rain, that wouldn't do very well. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a lot. Oh wait, I was supposed to do Courier. Ah, fuck. Whatever. It's fine. Cappy's not that scary, I think. Slime. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Xskull vouches for you, saying that you reliably get your hits off. You know? Believe it or not, he thinks that highly of you. Gravelodon? You're kidding me, right? Come on, man. Come on. Get in there. Yeah, Professor Abyss literally has no immunity, so getting Professor Abyss in here will be a miracle. Thank God for Catalyte. And somehow Can-Can? That bitch is dead already and it got killed by a Can-Can. I cannot believe we are in a day and age where Can-Can killed a hyena. Holy shit. What a game. I don't even... Dude, this is... Dude, Catalyte supremacy, man. I love Catalyte. Catalyte is so good. Nobody should ever doubt my boy Catalyte. Like, it's just an absolutely peak meat shield. Like, Catalyte and Shigong both tried to not be too overpowered like Ramen. However, both Catalyte and Shigong are so strong in their own ways that, like, it actually makes me want to compare them to Ramen. Like, not for general usage, right? Because Ramen was super strong because he's good, really good generally. And against angels, he's also really good. But I feel like Shigong is better against zombies than Ramen is against angels. And I think that Catalyte is better against aliens than Ramen is against angels. So it's like, as their own specific meat shields, they're better, but Ramen is better generally, right? It's one of those things where it's like actually really cool. Also, I beat the subchapter. Yippee! I'm gonna have way more to do. Like, I haven't been keeping up. I haven't been keeping up just because I have no reason to. There's no new units yet, so. But yeah, so that's that video. If you did enjoy, please do come back for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.